Now, the last thing I wanted to try out is what to do when you don't see this link below an article. Now, let me click on this first one. I have a feeling this won't be a good article. When you click on the link, it'll give you the abstract. So that's one thing to do right away. Before even opening the PDF or looking for the PDF, should you spend the time trying to figure that out if it's not a good fit, right? Is this a good fit? Read the abstract. Is it empirical? Does it relate to your topic? And let's see. Here I do not see a link to download. Sometimes you will see a link, but let's see if I can find this article. So I just copied and pasted the title to one search. I went back to the library CSUN website. If it's not near the top and you pasted the title, likely it's not further down either. Right? Now I'm back here to see if I can find authors. So this article might be harder to search. I have to do more work. I might need to recruit the help of a librarian. The librarian will say don't use Google Scholar. I use Google Scholar. Let's try that and see what happens. That's the title of that article. And there it goes. So this looks like a very old article based on this scan. Let's see if I can find a year. 1994. I just made myself feel old. Okay, so this is a very old article. So in this case, you can look through the article, see if it's empirical. You kind of see how I first stuck to that the PsycInfo database to try and find articles. I tried clicking on the article and see if they have a link here somewhere, look around and see if you can find some information on clicking. Doesn't work. Go to OneSearch. Doesn't work. Google Scholar. Some of you might be thinking, why didn't I do that first? You know, I tend to have better luck accessing the PDF here, but I'm fine with either. Do what works with you. You know, usually I do it in this order just because if we have access through it to the article through CSUN, then we're actually helping our own library keep access to these journals by showing that people are accessing them through their databases. But if you want to go straight to Google Scholar, go for it. But I want to try another one to see. Yeah, so you see here, it says full text from Eric. Actually, I missed that the first time. It's a little different every semester. It's a little different depending on where the article is located. Let me click on that. Okay, there you go. So if I had clicked on that link originally, then I could just click on download full text and it downloads the full article. Now keep in mind, here it said PDF full text. It has a nice icon. Here it's kind of hidden, but if you read it, it says full text from Eric. This one, it looks like the image isn't loading. So let me actually click on that one. And it might be because I'm using Safari. Okay. So I'm not seeing any links to downloading the article. Let's see what happens when I click on the DOI. The DOI is a digital object identifier. There you go. It's a direct digital link to the article you're looking for. And because I went through the CSUN library, this journal identified me as a CSUN student or user and knows that CSUN has access to their journal, so it automatically gave me access to download the PDF. You can see that here. If I had gone through Google, right, this is why I also wait to use Google as a last ditch effort. If I had gone through Google, it would have charged me. It would have said, this article is $15. But because I went through CSUN, I identified, oh, you're a CSUN user. CSUN has a subscription with us. Here's a PDF. So just to show you how I got to this point, there it is. I went to the digital object identifier and I clicked on it and it took me here. And there I have the download PDF. So this might not be an article I want to use, but I just wanted to show you how I get to the PDF. Okay, so keep in mind there's different ways to find PDFs. Don't give up just because you don't see a download PDF link here, right? If it's a great article, it's a great fit, then look around try to find that PDF. You can't find it here, then go to Google Scholar. Right, so last thing to point out, let's say this was a good article. Like, this is great. I want to use this article. This is a perfect fit. Actually, let's see if I could go. Yeah, so every time it gives you a different view depending on the article you're looking at. Let's see. Let me go back. That's not a good example. It takes me straight to the article. But let's say I click on this one. And I find, like, this is perfect. This article was perfect. How can I find more? You can look at who they reference, right? You can look at also who's referencing them. And here on this page, before you even get to download the article, you have keywords. Here you have advocacy, bilingual education, elementary, secondary education. Those topics don't fit within our class. But let's say, okay, Hispanic Americans, or, well, actually, let's say bilingual education was a topic you could choose, and that was a really good fit. You can click on that topic, and it'll take you to all the articles that have that as a topic, right? So let's say, I don't know, let me try different words. So we tried online harassment. That didn't work out too well. Digital harassment. Is that a thing? Let's see. Digital bullying. Bullying, victimization, negative emotions, and digital self-harm. Okay, so I got the idea for bullying from the title of that last article, or one of those articles you saw before. I was using harassment before. Now I know, okay, well, it looks like bullying might be a better word. Let's try this. Bullying, digital, or online, or social media, or direct messages, or smartphone. I don't know. Let's try. Whoa. Okay, so now I have 2,830 hits. So this was just for me doing a little bit of searching, changing my word from harassment to bullying, adding digital or online or social media or all the other words I could think of for online, being online. And I'm going to add female or women. It's going to probably narrow down my hits. Okay, now I have 482. So now it's looking for bullying, one of these terms, and female or woman. And let me add another one. Latinx or, and then if you wanted to add more terms for Latino, you could go ahead and do that. So it actually it brought it down to 19, which might seem discouraging, but maybe these 19 are better than what we had before. Investigating relational aggression and bullying for girls of color in Oklahoma. Body weight narrative, the application of the, I can't read that word, tripartite influence. So that's more about body image. Okay, so we could look around and try different terms. Harassment. Let's try harassment again and see what happens. We probably won't get hit. Okay, we got the same ones as before. So, okay, this one actually looks good. A report on the status of women in education, achieving gender equity, and well, actually not. That's education. Outcomes. Sexual harassment. Actually, I'm going to take off female women. I know this is not fun to watch, but I'm not going to edit this down too much because I want you to see that this does take time to do. You kind of have to play around with words. Wow, okay, so now I have way more than I did before. 900. It might be hard to find specific articles on Latinx individuals. Let me try Black or African American. Yeah, this seems better. The teens' kindness and cruelty on social network sites. How American teens navigate the new world of digital citizenship. So it seems like they had African American students in the sample. That's the way this article came up. But you'll see that playing around with the terms, you're gonna find different articles. Now, this is based on whether you had Latinx and maybe the comparison group, or not comparison group, the other group was Black or African American. Let's say you were looking at Asian. I'm going to use Asian for now, but I would do that thing where you do Asian or Korean or Japanese or all the groups you consider Asian, and see if that helps you find articles. Predicting adolescent alcohol use from peer bullying and sexual harassment. Now, you don't care about alcohol abuse, but you do care about the sexual harassment component. So this article is an article I would still look into and see, does it have this component that discusses online harassment, sexual harassment? And yes, the alcohol part isn't your interest, but it's still relevant to your focus, right? You would review that research on sexual harassment has shown and linked to alcohol abuse. Related to this, here you have an article from Gender Microaggressions to Sexual Assault, how these online microaggressions, I'm assuming it's online. You have to read the article, just because I'm assuming that because of it has to have one of these terms in there. But you would read it and see, does it connect with the digital component, the online component? Does it connect with the harassment component? Bonus, does it connect with my ethnicity IV? Depending on your topic, you might have to do more searching. If you're doing the mindset ones, it'll be a bit easier for you to find mindset and math articles. But let's say you're looking at mindset, math, gender, right? But then for ethnicity, you were interested in comparing Asian to Armenian participants. That's going to be hard to find. You might find something on Asian students and growth mindset and math, or you might find something just on Asian students and mindset, but finding it on Armenian participants, that's going to be hard. So you might do something like, you might include articles that have Asian students and mindset, women and mindset, women and math, right? A combination of articles that touch on your IV and DV, your IVs and DV, and then write your literature based on that. So don't get stuck on, I have to find an article that covers both of my IVs and my DV. You have to think about it in terms of, well, I might be doing research that hasn't been done before. I have to find the most related research to my article and then read that and use that as a foundation to explain why my research is necessary. Keep in mind that if you don't search well, I'm going to know because I know what's out there on these topics. So if you can't find something on Latinas and harassment in online settings, I'm going to look. So keep that in mind. I know that for some areas like Armenian participants, just in general, that's hard to find. There is something out there, but that's hard to find regarding mindset. Women in mindset, that's not hard to find. Women in math, that's not hard to find. Latinas in math, that's more difficult to find, right? But it's possible. Latinas mindset and math, you'll probably find an article or two on that topic. Armenian women, math and mindset. I bet you there's no article on that topic. That's from experience, right? From using these topics and having students do their own research and having students that are interested in doing research with Armenian populations, that I know that. So search, do what you can. If you get stuck, reach out to us. If you're not sure about an article, ask us and we can help you with that.